Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin.
Opposition questions selection of Spark 2 roads. Man dies in St. Mary House fire. And later in sports, West Indies and New Zealand meet in one-day international today.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamela Pullen. Here are the details. Opposition spokesman on Land and Works, Lothan Cousins, is calling on the government to explain the methodology used to select projects under Phase 2 of the $25 billion Spark Main Roads program. Pointing to the National Works Agency's published project listings, he notes that $12.01 billion, nearly half of the program's total budget, is concentrated in the corporate area and St. Catherine, while many rural and agricultural parishes have received little or no investment.
St. Elizabeth, for example, has received no allocation under this program, despite the fact that St. Elizabeth was significantly affected by Hurricane Melissa. The government has repeatedly described the process selection as data-driven. If that is the case, then it must publish the methodology. Jamaica deserves to know how these projects were selected and why some areas received multiple major allocations while others were totally left out.
Mr. Cousins also argues that there are gaps in the scope of the program.
Another concern is that the overall scope of the program will rehabilitate only 170 kilometers of roads. That is 3.4% of the 5,000 kilometers of road under the NWA's supervision and management.
More pressure on the local government Minister Desmond McKenzie this afternoon to provide greater clarity on the allocation to each municipal corporation for road repairs. Chairman of the Manchester Municipal Corporation, Donovan Mitchell, raised the matter at the recent municipal meeting. Mr. Mitchell argued that the minister created the impression that each municipal corporation received $600 million for road repairs, leading to confusion over how the funds were actually distributed.
Saying that we receive how much hundred thousands of dollars, millions of dollars for road repairs and all of that. I just want to state that the figure that I think the minister quoted is not only for one parish, it's for all 15 municipalities. And so I'm asking that the ministry just clarify, because persons keep calling now and say that the road can be fixed because the minister said we're getting hundreds of millions.
Mr. Mitchell is now urging the minister to provide a detailed breakdown of the allocations made to each municipal corporation.
As financial year coming into this year, it's about $38 million. And that has to be shared among the 15 divisions and other works that has to be done. So I know there's some dark spots in that statement he made. So I'm going to be asking that at least they do some, clarity on the matter, because I am scared that my councillors will come under extreme pressure and will be abused.
The call comes after a similar concern by Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby, who also questioned the distribution of the road repair funds. Since Hurricane Melissa last October, St. James Health System continues its recovery. Some facilities have reopened while others remain displaced. Health officials say progress has been made, but several communities are still waiting for permanent solutions. The road to recovery has been a gradual one for healthcare facilities across St. James. One of the major successes has been the reopening of the Catherine Hall Health Center, a facility that suffered significant damage during Hurricane Melissa. Health officials say the return of the health center marks an important step for the community, which had faced disruptions in accessing care.
Based on the devastation that particular facility faced and the community faced, to have our facility up and running. And so we really want to give our thanks to the partnership that would have existed in terms of everyone coming on board so we could have that facility reopened. So a special thank you as we continue, as we have our meeting this afternoon. Just to indicate that though we still have two of our facilities, the Johns Hall Health Center is still operating from an alternate site at this time.
But the situation is even more challenging at the Roehampton facility.
We are currently operating from the Roehampton Apostolic Refuge Temple, and for that facility, based on what we know, that Roehampton was completely destroyed. I will need a new facility, so we will be at that space for a period of time until it is sorted.
Beyond hurricane recovery, several communities are also waiting decisions on future health infrastructure.
Again, in short order, at this time, clients are able to access care at the Adelphi Health Center. So we're looking to resume both from Johns Hall and Goodwill in very, very short order. We continue our extended hours at Type 5 and Mount Salem Health Center. And that continues without any further disturbance. Otherwise, service delivery occurs as routine across the parish.
Meanwhile, health officials in St. James say they're strengthening disease surveillance efforts as global outbreaks continue to place countries on alert.
Some of these conditions would include chikungunya, mpox, influenza, dengue, as well measles. But at this particular time, certainly we have no confirmed cases of dengue, COVID, mpox, or yellow fever in the parish or country at this point. However, we know that over the last few months that there has been an outbreak of Ebola in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and that is ongoing, and it has been declared a public health emergency of international concern. The risk for us here in Jamaica is very low, but we have our heightened surveillance because we know that, especially for us in St. James, we are an international gateway.